Hey guys, just when you think things, can't get any worse, they do. And I just came across some information that really concerns me as a mom of an adult teenager with autism. Um, so what has basically happened is that that fucking monster puppet, that is running our country into the ground, ordered his Department of Justice to basically do like a legal memorandum. So I'm going to read to you a little bit. I'm going to read to you the excerpt from the article, and then I'm going to discuss what I think it means and why it's important. Um, okay, what is this? On June 18th, 2026, at the Trump administration's request, the Department of Justice's Office of Legal Counsel issued a legal opinion saying the integration mandate, the rule that requires states to serve disabled people in the community instead of institutions, was never actually required by law, and the agencies can cancel it. It is not a court ruling. It has not changed the law today. It is the groundwork for changing it. The background. The integration mandate comes from the Americans with Disabilities Act and was reinforced by the Supreme Court in Olmstead v. LC 1999, which held the unjustified institutional isolation of people with disabilities as discrimination. It is the legal floor under which group homes, Medicaid waivers, and community living were developed. Okay, what does it mean? Oh my goodness, guys. um, so it means that basically that the government doesn't have to provide um, financial supports to keep people in the community. Okay. Um, I don't even know if I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm going to get through this. I really don't. I'm to the point where I just can't take anymore. I thought I was tougher than this, but every day it is another assault on our most vulnerable people in this country. And if you're not scared, I don't know what's wrong with you. You should be. I know a lot of people are like, well, it doesn't affect me. I don't have a disability. I don't know anybody with a disability. But at some point, you probably will. At some point, you're gonna get old or you're gonna get sick, and and at that point, the government can just say, well, fuck you. You're not a contributing member of a society, and we don't have to provide community support for you to keep you in your home. We're gonna put you in, you know, some god awful, horrible institution where you can languish until you die. And I mean, I don't know. People are saying, well, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe those people need to be, somewhere where they're getting services. That's not what this is, and you know it. I mean, look at the conditions in the ICE detention centers. Do you think this is going to be any better? I would counter that it's going to be far worse. This is really, really, really concerning. Um, and I'm gonna just people are so ignorant and so cruel. Um, I'm gonna read to you some of the comments that people are making um, under this article. Let me find some good ones. Oh my goodness. Oh, here we go. Here's one. They could make amazing community institutions with gates, friendship, good meals, lots of visitors, entertainers, and buildings for each type of disability needs and desires. Are you fucking kidding me? And that was a woman. That was a woman. Clearly, maybe they ought to start with her because her cognitive ability is in question. Oh, goodness. Let's see if I can find another good one. Oh, some people don't believe it. Here's one that says, "Do you have legal document talking about this, or is this just your interpretation?" God. Uh, Someone else says, "Fear mongering. If this was true, social workers would be talking about it, and it would be all over the news." God help me. This is how we got here, you guys. This is how we got here. People just saying, "Oh, it's not true." And for some reason, anytime now that somebody brings forward unpleasant news of any kind, everybody wants to run and duck your head in the sand and say fear mongering. Sometimes fear is a good thing, Sometimes fear is necessary. It motivates people to take the action for self preservation. But I don't know what that fucking looks like, you guys. I don't know. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you with everything else that is going on. um I don't know. I'm For the first time, I'm looking at a plan to get out of this country. I don't think this is going to go well, you know. um here's kind of how this little legal brief that they have just put out ties in with the rest of the picture. Let me spell it out for you. Okay. So, you know how they're cutting all of the social safety nets, right? I mean, they're cutting everything from SNAP to, well, the big one's going to be housing. So, what they've done is, I mean, like, I don't have the amount of what they've cut from the, the HUD budget, but it's huge. And everybody said, "Oh, well, it's not a big deal for elderly and disabled. They won't have to meet these new requirements for the 80 hours a month or whatever work requirements and um, what other fuckery they've decided they're going to put up as a hurdle to keep people from applying and maintaining their benefits." But here's how this is going to work. So let's say you have a loved one that lives in public housing. They're getting a housing subsidy, whether it be Section 8 or project based housing. Yeah, any senior, subsidized senior community. Here's what they can say now. So let's say you try to claim an exemption for disability, and now they can say, "Well, we don't have to provide you with with an exemption for disability, because if you're that disabled, then we can you can just you can go to one of our fabulous new communities." RFK's talked about the taking people with autism and people who are on SSRIs and putting them on a wellness farm. So yeah, so you can go to our new wellness farm where you'll be well taken care of. Yeah, you don't think they would do it? I do. I do. Look at these fucking monsters. And these cuts that you're seeing on the social safety net, the ones that came out in the big bullshit bill, oh, that's just the beginning, honey. They're just getting warmed up. They are just getting warmed up. Um, so people that think this is hyperbole, first of all, fuck you, because you haven't been paying attention. And second of all, fuck you. And I will have zero sympathy for your ass when this shit comes for you, because inevitably it will. It's only a matter of time where till these swaths of these actions, they're going to just take out. They're going to impoverish waves of the population at a time. Okay, I mean, and the disabled people that are in that boat now, they're going to be the first to go. And then like the next group is going to be the lower middle class that can no longer afford even cheapest housing. So now they're going to be homeless, and they'll go to the homeless internment camp. You see how they've set this up. Uh, I don't know. I actually fucking cried today. I actually cried this afternoon because I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. I know we can't vote our way out of it. Your so-called representatives, they've been bought and paid for a long time ago. The Supreme Court does not care. They are going to back whatever. Well, it's Trump now, but it's whatever you know puppet they put in office to bring about the new world order. I mean, I know everybody says, "Oh, it's conspiracy theory." The fuck it is. Take a look around. They just called it Project 2025. They just changed the name of it. It used to be everybody said, "Well, the new world order is going to be this sustainable development goals. Agenda 2020 and Agenda 2030." No, they just rebranded. And the new rebrand, I will argue, is well, it's far worse, and it's coming in at a far more rapid pace than even I had imagined. I knew it was coming. I didn't. Maybe I was just in denial. Maybe I didn't want to believe that it was coming this fast. I was hoping, you know, um, and I've been trying to wake people up, since about 2016, when I started to see the writing on the wall. But quite frankly, I'm really just I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of tired of trying to wake people up. Maybe it's just time for me and my son to get the fuck up out of here. I don't know. I haven't really done a whole lot of research on where we're going to go, or how that would look. Um, but I think it's time to start making a plan. At least a contingency plan. I'm very, very concerned. Um, you know, if if you haven't been looking at how they are really tightening the noose, and where this is headed. You really need to start looking, because it's only a matter of time till they get to your demographic. All right. Um, yeah, it's just a matter of time. It's so funny because, us conspiracy theorists, we've always said, maybe the end goal is to get people into camps. And I don't know. I think once you're in those camps, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be. You're not gonna be playing backgammon all day. Let me put it that way. Uh, we were warning and warning and warning, and now here it is. I don't know. And even I'm a little shocked. I had hoped that, what I'd hoped. I'd hoped that the population would be smart enough to be able to connect the dots. I really did. But I mean, in reading those comments, and those were just a couple of the idiots that were commenting. You should have read some of these comments, you guys. People are clueless. And then the other thing that I was looking at today about the flock cameras, and somebody had mentioned the flock cameras in our local, in our local Reading group, right? And people were saying, "Oh, I think it's a good idea. I don't mind. I'm not doing anything wrong. I think it's good. They're going to catch criminals." What they don't know is that it's kind of like what's going on in China with the social credit score. It's only a matter of time until you're the criminal. The whole here's how it works. They want to criminalize you so that they can. Well, first of all, extract money from you in fines and fees, okay? court costs and all of that stuff. So they get you into that system, and then ultimately, if the crime is deemed serious enough, or if we're far enough along into this meat grinder, they can put you in like they're talking about doing with the homeless, the work camps. Okay, and you need to look at what's going on in Louisiana specifically, and also in Utah. I may cover those separately because I think they're super important. But okay, if you're homeless, then you have two choices: go to jail, go to one of these treatment camps. Because if you're homeless, there must be something wrong with you, and you need treatment. Okay, once you're there, well, you got to pay for your treatment and for your housing. So you're going to be working. You're going to be working. And you guys, these are all going to be, managed by the private prison system. And that is big, big business. Um, Big business. So these facilities that they're building that are supposedly just for immigrants and homeless. Oh, come on. Now, when they run out of immigrants and homeless, because eventually they're going to run out of drug addicts and they're going to run out of black and brown people, um, who do you think is next? They're not just going to let them sit there and say, okay, we're done now. No, the whole plan is to just get rid of all of the excess population. They don't need a huge workforce anymore. They will put you to work in the work camps, and probably work you until you die. And if you think that can't happen, kind of look at what happened back in the 1930s with it was the Conservation Corps. That's all touted as like that was a really great thing, and it was a positive thing to put these people to work, and they helped build all this infrastructure. Well, the reality is much darker. People that went into those work camps, they didn't fare very well. I'm just going to put it that way. So, anyway, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you have a disability or you know somebody that does, um, I would be looking at making a contingency plan, and you know uh, putting something together so that you don't get swept up in this really awful, cruel fucking dragnet that they're casting. Anyway, yeah. So again, sorry to be a buzzkill, but yeah, try to have a good weekend. I'm probably gonna go cry some more. Yeah, I'm pretty upset. I won't lie, and I don't get upset easily. So anyway, yeah, I guess we're all in this together. So I'll try to have a good night.